in terms of FSI, what are the top use cases that you have been seeing that are gaining traction in the industry?
Okay, as per regulation, they have to keep the data within the country itself, right? So earlier there was a very major roadblock which was preventing organization to move.
What is the one example that you would want to give regarding any of the implementations that you have done?
So one of the example which is coming into my mind is that we have built a GenAI co-pilot, underwriting co-pilot.
How are you as a company embracing this technology?
So with these advancement, I believe now industry will actively build GenAI use cases and will also productionize them in their mainstream operation.
Hi everyone, welcome to the next edition of Data Dialogue series. Since the advent of ChatGPT, there have been continuous strides in the field of generative AI. Generative AI has been the talk of the town since last 1.5 years. It is rightly said that Gen AI has the ability to change the world in ways we can't even imagine. And true to its belief, there have been continuous improvements in LLM models and the use cases that are being built around it. Even in financial services industry, irrespective of the size of the company, we have seen multiple use cases and multiple implementations being done. So today we'll talk about how GenAI is actually shaping up financial services industry and what are the use cases that we are seeing. Today we have Anuj Vyas. Thanks Anuj for being here today.
Thank you, Sankalp.
So Anuj, in terms of you have been working with the financial services industry for so long now.
Yes.
In terms of FSI, what are the top use cases that you have been seeing that are gaining traction in the industry?
Okay, since the development of GenAI, right, industry is trying to focus on low-hanging fruits. So industry has already tested this technology on use cases like, improving customer experience, where they have built where they have built GenAI co-pilots for improving customer experience, like a chatbot which can answer contextual and which will provide a lot of contextual information to the customer, can solve their queries in real time and in less time, right? So these are some of the use cases industry already tried, and then industries also tried the use cases like marketing workflow automation, where they have used GenAI for building and creating hyper contextual nudges, and then about the very hyper personalized image creation for automating the campaigns, right? So these are all the use cases which industries already tested. Now the focus is on complex use cases. So if I have to give you an example, I know some of my clients who are already using this technology for streamlining their underwriting operations, especially in insurance segment, right? In insurance segment, you have a lot of structured data and structured data. So GenAI will automatically, segregate all this information, build a contextual awareness about this, and then recommending the outcome to the underwriting agent. So the whole objective is that how you can improve the efficiencies of your workforce and how you can streamline operations. So these are some of the use cases which I think industry will focus more on.
So Anuj, in terms of even with so much development, the number of productions as compared to POCs is very low. So what are the main reasons that you think behind this, and how is the industry going to evolve from here?
So just like any other new technology, right, there is always an adoption curve. So first industry focused on experimenting with GenAI, okay, and what they did, they selected some random use cases. But in my opinion, the biggest barrier of moving use cases, GenAI use cases to production, is the finalization of the use case itself. Okay, so that is one of the biggest barrier. Second barrier is that GenAI use cases, right? As you know that it requires a lot of structured data, it requires reliable data and accurate data. So industry typically in enterprise, right? You have all this data scattered across places. So to provide reliable data, accurate data, and the trusted data to GenAI model is another challenge. And the third challenge is that the availability of contextual information. So LLM model can perform well, right? Once they have a contextual information. Otherwise, if they don't have a contextual information, it means training LLM model on your business terms, on a business KPI, so that it can generate your accurate answer, right? If they don't have a contextual awareness, they can hallucinate and they can generate wrong answers or incorrect answers. So these are some of the barriers which I think are coming in the way of moving GenAI use cases from POC to the production environment.
So Anuj, there have been a lot of issues regarding data privacy and data sovereignty regarding large language models. So what's your view on that?
Okay, so again, I missed this point. One of the biggest barrier is the data privacy and the data sovereignty. So, as you know that financial industry, they, as per regulation, they have to keep the data within the country itself, right? So earlier there was a very major roadblock which was preventing organization to move GenAI use case into production was the availability of LLM model within the India itself. Now, since there are a lot of developments are happening, for example, in AWS Bedrock, right? This is available in Mumbai region. So AWS Bedrock provides a lot of foundational models and as well as both in-house model, which organization can try and can build their applications on top of it. So with these advancement, I believe now industry will actively move, build GenAI use cases and will also productionize them in their mainstream operation. And then you have a concept of guardrails, right? So guardrail are basically controls which you implement on GenAI models so that they are aligned to your enterprise policies, okay? And then they don't give improper answer.
So Anuj, with all the large language models, there have been a constant challenge of hallucinations. How are you as LUMIQ mitigating all these issues?
Okay, so with hallucinations, right, what you can do, there is a concept of guardrails, and this we also implement in some of the use case which we built for the industry. So what we have built a periphery of guardrails. So what guardrail ensure? Guardrail ensure that whatever LLM model you train, right, this is trained on your data, enterprise data. It eliminates the hallucination and it eliminates the misuse, and it prevents the model for giving improper answer or out of the context answer which doesn't falls within your enterprise policies. So there are ways and means where you can restrict the LLM model output using guardrails.
So Anuj, having talked about all these use cases, what is the one example that you would want to give regarding any of the implementations that you have done?
Okay, so one of the example which is coming into my mind is that we have built a GenAI copilot, underwriting copilot, which can integrate with any underwriting engine of enterprise, right? So what it does, it first of all it is trained on your underwriting guidelines, and it automatically highlights the parameter which are not fitting into your underwriting guidelines, so that if any underwriting is viewing a case or a policy case, right, they know what areas are not fitting into your underwriting guidelines with an explainability. So it not just highlight, but it will also give a referencing to your underwriting guidelines. And then on the basis of structured, unstructured information available with the proposal form, it gives a recommendation whether the underwriting team have to issue the policy or they have to deny the policy. Now this is an outcome. Now what underwriting copilot is also doing, it is giving an explanatory to the outcome, and it is giving a very contextual summary highlighting all the key risk parameters and an explanation which is easily consumable by the underwriting team. So these are some of the use cases which we have built, and it has significantly improved the efficiency of the underwriting team.
So Anuj, we have heard about LUMIQ implementing solutions for your customers. How are you as a company embracing this technology?
Okay, so LUMIQ is into data analytics, right? So what we essentially do, we build a data platform, and as a part of it, we do a lot of coding. And most of our data engineers, right, most of our coders, they are experimenting with Amazon Q developer, so that they can write code faster, they can identify bugs in their code and can deploy that code for into the production environment. So this entire cycle, I have witnessed that the entire code building to identifying of the bugs and deploying that code into production, that is accelerated using LLM models and GenAI technology which we are consuming internally. Another example is that many times we have to migrate ETL codes, ETL code which are written in either in PL SQL, right, which we have to migrate to PySpark framework. So that entire code migration we are accelerating using GenAI and LLM models, which is helping our engineers to migrate those codes. So these are some of the ways we are consuming it internally.
Thank you, Anish, for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your valuable insights.